Let's hear from Christian Horner. He's talking to Karun.
Christian, that was an emotional roller coaster from yesterday. Nearly didn't get Daniel into the race, into qualifying, and now you won the Grand Prix.
Amazing. I mean, fantastic to see, Daniel win that Grand Prix. Perfectly executed. Great teamwork. Great performance by, the guys. 2 double pit stops today, and Daniel's, executed the perfect race.
I mean, that was a team victory. If you want to go to the podium, we'll walk with you, but that was a team victory, wasn't it? Your guys knew that if you pulled him in at the safety car, you'd have the best chance to win the Grand Prix. It was fantastic strategy.
Yeah, it was last minute. Double stops, first and second time. And, Daniel's overtakes on Valtteri and, when he came from so far back into turn 14 as well. Amazing.
Welcome back to Shanghai. The winner of the Chinese Grand Prix joins us now. That's Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel,
that sounds good.
It feels good saying it, I got to be honest, considering at one point it looked like you might be starting behind Marcus Ericsson. It's a pretty good result in the end. It came good,
It did. Yeah, yesterday was touch and go, and would I have thought that yesterday's work from the mechanics would allow us to win a race today? Yeah, it's crazy. I was already thankful and grateful that we got out yesterday and gave them a lot of love, but today it's like just 10 more levels above. I want to just give them all a big hug and I wouldn't say a kiss with my fat lip, but
how did you get the fat lip, by the way?
I bit it in Bahrain.
How hard?
I know, so I kept biting it and it just got aggravated, and now I'll get it sorted, but anyways, it's all right.
You're still handsome. Tell me this, is there...
Still a 9?
What's that?
Still a 9?
You were always a 10.1 for me. Anyway, is there a better overtaker in Formula One?
No. Well, I'm going to sound really arrogant saying that, but no.
Yeah, we're going to see them right now, actually, so you be the judge. Check it out.
This was absolutely crucial, though, first of all, wasn't it? The double stop of the team was awesome.
Strategy was certainly on point today as well. They were massive.
Yeah, you're loving that. And then we get some other
what
good
are we
stuff.
watching?
That's you. That's you.
Here we go.
Right, talk us through all this.
All right. Well, Kimi, that was I guess pretty straightforward. Just a good old DRS move. So I don't want to talk that one up too much. This was Max.
This is Max. Yeah, this is where it went wrong.
So he lost the rear. Okay, I thought there was contact. When he came back on, I was not sure if he was going to slide into me. One and Lewis was good. That camera angle makes it look a little bit
He was
easier.
submissive, wasn't he? You scared him.
The onboard was, I'm sure, cooler, but Christian loved it. Flexing, that a boy.
Yeah, that's it.
That was fairly straightforward, I guess, again. I guess the Valtteri one was probably the most spectacular. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's see if they pick a good camera angle for it.
Well, we were
Here we go.
heart and mouth.
Oh, holy dooly. Tickle me grandma. Yeah, Patches Magoo. That was fun. All the moves, I hadn't come on the radio. I was very composed, but after that one, I got a bit giddy. I knew that was then the victory, so that was cool.
And you can't overstate those chaps on the pit wall there, what they did for you this weekend, replacing your power unit in record time, coping with stacked, pit stops, incredible strategy. I mean, these guys are something else.
Yeah, they earned every part of the victory today. It's I really, really am so happy for them as well. The high is as high as mine, I'm sure. And, they got it done yesterday. Strategy pulled off amazing stuff today. And then, the double stop. They're awesome under pressure. They really are. And today we had the opportunity and we took it. And they also made it possible. So very, very stoked.
Congratulations. Extraordinary stuff. Can't wait to see what you can do in Azerbaijan. We know what you're capable of. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Go celebrate, sir. Enjoy.
Well done, Baku.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well done.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's hear from a man who Daniel Ricciardo left in his wake today. That'll be Lewis Hamilton, believe it or not.
Lewis, what was it like for you out there today? We heard you talking about your tyres on several occasions. It sounded like you were having a bit of a tough fight on your hands.
Yeah, it was definitely a difficult day at the office, but I did what I could.
In terms of the strategy, was this another bit of a sort of strategic misfire from Mercedes, not taking that opportunity to put you under the safety car?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, I'd have to look at I'll have to go back and sit with them and discuss it, but my tyres were definitely done, so I wasn't able to hold people up and keep them behind. But I think just in general, this from Saturday till Saturday and Sunday were just a disaster for the performance on my side, and struggled with the car. But yeah, thankful for Verstappen today. This is the only scenario where that's actually not a bad thing.
Well, he started on 4th on the grid, which is exactly where we are, and he finished 4th, which is, it's not all bad. I mean, he cut down the gap between him and his championship rival, Sebastian Vettel, to just 9 points, so that's pretty good.
Well, I think that's the only good thing that came out of it for Hamilton this afternoon. You know, he's a little bit confused with where the quali pace went for him, the fact that Valtteri was running in front of him, and he just couldn't make the tyres last as well. So, yeah, lucky that Verstappen got up close and personal with Vettel.
So I suppose the question is, did Mercedes let Mr. Hamilton down? Let's find out, shall we?
This is where Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes lost the Grand Prix. Riding on board with the reigning world champion, he's behind a lap car. Now as he comes out of the turn 14 hairpin, look to the left-hand side and the safety car sign is up. So at this point, Mercedes had the opportunity to call Lewis into the pits, but they didn't. As he comes to this last corner, watch, he turns left past the pit entry. Now Red Bull made the critical decision to bring both Verstappen and Ricciardo in. Bearing in mind that Verstappen was 2.5 seconds ahead of Hamilton, that's even more impressive for Red Bull to make that decision so quickly. Brilliant strategy from Red Bull. Mercedes need to understand why they weren't quicker to react.
So Lewis Hamilton could have crossed that finish line first.
That's going to hurt, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what is really interesting is because in terms of the strategy, as soon as we saw the debris on the track, in commentary, I said the question out loud, right, will there be a safety car for that because of the carbon issues? That's the sort of question that the strategists would have and should have been asking themselves, and clearly Red Bull have then been poised, ready to react. Why didn't Mercedes react? It looked like Lewis had plenty of time to get that call. So I'm sure when they go through the analysis, there'll be, you know, the glaring obvious that they should have pitted him.
Yeah, much like Red Bull. Stunning strategy, of course, but you have to admit Verstappen had a bit of a wild race, getting up close and personal with Lewis, then crashing into Vettel. Here's the Lewis incident.
Yeah, well, this is going through 7 and 8, so gets himself into a good position when those fresher tyres, but then, of course, Lewis just opens the steering, as is his wont, and it's the racing line because the next corner's right-hander, and this is the one where he got the penalty. The door was open initially, but that door was always going to close with the difference in speed. And, well, I don't think he started out on the brakes thinking he was going to try and pass Vettel there. The opportunity presented itself, and then by the time he realised it wasn't going to work, it was too late, and it was a one-way journey towards the sideboard of the Ferrari.
Let's hear from him, shall we?
Max, well, some feisty driving out there today, which was great for us to watch, I have to say. But the move on Sebastian in particular cost you dear. Just talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, they were struggling a lot on the tyres. And... yeah, I was going further. I locked the rears, and yeah, my fault. I locked the rears and hit him. So yeah, that was not great. But already before, you know, the action with Lewis, I tried. I went a bit wide, which was a shame, of course. I lost the position to Daniel. But then the race was still very open. I think as a team we could still finish first and second. But yeah, like I said, I made some mistakes, and yeah. Didn't finish second.
So we just saw you having a conversation with Sebastian over there. How did that one go?
Yeah, we spoke about it.
Are you now sort of feeling slightly frustrated about what might have been if you'd maybe just had a little bit more patience?
Well, I'm just disappointed with myself, you know, that this is the outcome of the race. While we had a good strategy as well, and the car was behaving well, so this is a shame.
Just tell us about the strategy. I mean, masterful from Red Bull to double stack you twice.
Yeah, no, it was very good. Yeah, we did everything right today as a team point of view. Just my side.
Nice to see a contrite Max Verstappen, but he didn't have much of an option, really, did he? He was in the wrong.
No, the penny's dropped, hasn't it? That it was a missed opportunity. He's taken it firmly on his shoulders. I'm sure the conversation that he didn't want to elaborate on with Vettel was him apologising.
Yeah, well, we saw it within the clip. You give him a clap on the back, so it seems like there's no hard feelings. Also, I should say that Vettel showed quite a bit of maturity out there as well, because he didn't blow up when Max hit him, because, you know, if that happened last year, it would be Red Vettel all over again.
Yeah, you would have gone mental, wouldn't you?
Crazy about the car.
Yeah.
Chasing him up the road there.
Yeah, no, he was very reserved.
Okay, let's hear from him, shall we?
Sebastian, championship leader still, leaving Shanghai, but so many points lost today through no fault of your own. That must gall you somewhat.
Oh, it's part of racing. Obviously, it was quite frustrating at some point. I think coming out behind Valtteri was one, and then that the safety car came just when the leaders passed the pit entry was the second. You don't even have a chance to think of pitting. When I saw the light, I wanted to just turn right, but I passed the bollard already, so it was, I would have lost the car doing that, because I think that was the faster way to the end. Then obviously the incidents with Max, and after I think we were lucky to continue. Obviously the car was damaged, so we did all we could to get at least some points.
Just talk us about that move of Max from your perspective.
Oh, not much to say. I hit the brakes and I even gave him room on the inside, in case he misjudges a little bit, which can easily happen. But it wasn't enough. Obviously it was too late, and we had tailwind the whole race down there, so it was tricky with braking. But I think at that point, 15 laps to go, we had 41 laps to know. So I said to him as well, I think he knows he threw away the podium himself. So it was unnecessary, and as I said, for us, obviously losing a bit, but equally lucky to be able to continue.
That man's a strategist, isn't he?
It's interesting that he worked out that what Mercedes struggled to work out. Hamilton was a few seconds behind him down the road, and if he could have got in past the bollard, he would have done so. And he's always shown himself to be exceptional, and that's, if you remember in Australia, that's exactly how he won the race there, by making use of that safety car and getting quick into the pits.
He's a clever man, DC. Let's take a look at those results with Ben Edwards, shall we?
Daniel Ricciardo took victory in China by 8.8 seconds in the end over Valtteri Bottas, with Raikkonen in third. Lewis Hamilton was fourth. Max Verstappen, who perhaps could have won this race, finished in fifth place. Hulkenberg and Alonso finished exactly where they did in Bahrain, but Vettel was down in eighth, ahead of Sainz and Kevin Magnussen, who took the final point. Outside of the points, Ocon and Perez were as close as ever. Van Dorn was in 13th place. Lance Stroll beat Sirotkin, but couldn't convert that good start into points today. Ericsson, Grosjean, Gasly and Leclerc completed the finishers. In the Drivers' Championship, the lead has virtually been halved between Vettel and Hamilton. It's down to 9 points. Valtteri Bottas in a closer third place. Daniel Ricciardo's moved up to fourth. Raikkonen is fifth. Alonso's being consistent, but he's tied on points at the moment with Nico Hulkenberg. And back in eighth is Max Verstappen. And in the Constructors, look how it's turned around. Despite not winning a race this year, Mercedes are leading by 1 point over Ferrari. Red Bull have moved into third, where we might have expected them to be in the first place, but they had 2 non-finishes in Bahrain. McLaren are ahead of Renault, but not by much. Toro Rosso in 6th place, ahead of Haas, Sauber, Force India and Williams, still on 0.
So, tough day for Vettel, Hamilton, Raikkonen, Bottas, but I'm going to say it anyway because I love racing. God bless the safety car.
Yeah,
am I right?
In this instance, it really did bring the race alive. Otherwise, I still think strategy would have played in on the tyre wear towards the end of the Grand Prix, but it just opened up an opportunity for Red Bull, and that's what they've been fantastic at over the years. They just, whenever there's a strategic play, they've got the bravery to go for it, and that's what won them the race today.
You know where else enjoys a safety car? Azerbaijan. Are back in 2 weeks' time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We are live on Channel 4. I'll be there. DC will be there. We'll also have the return of one Edmund Jordan. We certainly hope you'll join us too. We'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.